I was so amped looking at the details in room.
Oh, the actual details inside of room, yeah.
Exactly, like the fact that even the light sockets had little faces.
Drawing. Yeah.
Just like the movie, I thought. It was simultaneously heartwarming and heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if there's anything that we couldn't see that you remember from Room, like a little detail or something in there that maybe everybody watching can just know is present.
Well, we all joke that this is probably the most thought put into per square foot of any set, because there's so many factors to us being in there for 7 years. So Jacob and I did all of the drawings, and we drew portraits of one another and got photos of each other from the last 5 years so that we could do drawings, so it looked like it was over the course of the 5 years. And then little things like they made the tiles, the cork tiles, more faded in the spot where skylight would have hit them. And there's little bits of mold. And when we would do rehearsals, we would go through that morning routine, and we've played games together, and so we would pay attention to where it was that Jacob would run around, where he would want to, kick the wall or punch off of, and so we'd wear those spots down, giving this texture to it that you really felt like this was a space that there was a sort of cyclical, repetitive nature to some of these actions, and so every piece of that space, I mean, down to the rags that I used to clean the floor were baby clothes that were cut up because we imagined that she wouldn't have access to rugs, so she was using old clothes, and my pants would have been clothes and pants that she would have worn through a pregnancy. So I had them stretched out to the point where a pregnant belly could hold them. God. And then I asked wardrobe to give me floss and a needle so that I could sew them up myself. Mm-hmm. I mean, every little detail.
There's so much love. There's so much love in the story. There's so much love behind the scenes. Like, that's what I'm really left with. And by the time that Jake's character gets into a house where he can actually leap off of chairs, there's like this little scene, and all he's doing is leaping off the living room chairs, which everybody takes for granted, and it actually brought tears to my eyes, because I'm like, this is childhood. Like, this is what he never got a chance to do. Like, this movie's so rich with stuff like that.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And I want to put him in my pocket.
Did you get to talk with him yet?
Oh my God.
Isn't he the best?
He's like the most precious little kid.
I know. I feel really lucky that I'm like, that's my best friend.
Well,
yeah.
like,
I got to spend so much, like a year of my life with him, and now he's stuck with me for the rest of our lives.
I don't even know what this is, and I keep doing this. Like, I just want to
I know, he's the best.
First meeting with him. Well, how did that go? He seemed so open, even to somebody he didn't know.
He was really shy the first time we met. He was very shy. But by the end of, we went and got pizza together, and there was a big group of us. We had like the director there and the producers there, because we didn't want it to feel like there was too much, like it was this sort of intense, like, now the two of you have to get along and like each other.
Right, because that works great.
Yeah, kids love that. They love pressure. So, but he had these little Star Wars figurines, and so when I was able to talk with him a little bit about that, and that he was able to go, oh, okay, so you know about that, and we got to talk about Ninja Turtles, and so there was a couple of things where he was like, all right, I could talk with this person. And that night he invited me over to play Lego, and
you're in.
It went over pretty well, and so then he asked me to come over the next day and play Lego. And so we got in this like pretty easy routine very quickly, where we'd get picked up in the morning to go to the production office, and we'd have 30, 40 minutes in the car where the two of us could banter and talk about our dreams and talk about movies. And then we get to the production office, and our production designer had all of this trash and supplies that we would have had in room so that we could build our own toys. And so we'd build all the toys together that you see in room, and then Lenny would take us into rehearsals, and we would just improvise. We'd just play games, hang out, run around in there, and then go home and play more Lego. And
that's so dope.
And so after 3 weeks, it was like we were just best friends.